Hello and good morning. My name is Tyler. Today is December 11th. I'm here with
Brandon.
And today we are going to recap everything going on, everything new in the music industry this past week, starting with the biggest news, our changes in the Billboard Top 10 100. The Billboard Hot 100, but it's the top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
Top 10. Starting with.
I'm guessing this is going to be all Christmas. We are in December. What do you got?
Percentage-wise, yes, it's majority Christmas, but believe it or not, we still have the queen. Dare I say that because I think Beyonce is the queen, but the new queen, Taylor Swift, is still at number one. She's been at number one for 6 weeks on the chart now. Doesn't sound like a lot, except for the song's only been out for 6 weeks. So she's literally stayed at number one, peak position.
What is that, Anti-Hero?
Yes, Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero.
With her single. That is like is that the song that goes like, you're...
Yeah, how's it go?
The problem, it's me, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. I think it's become like a TikTok thing.
Yeah, that's
probably why.
We're good TikTok influence.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 2. Lo and behold, the Christmas. I don't even know what to say about this song. Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," has moved up from the 5th spot to number 2.
Yep, there it is.
Now, here's what's crazy about this.
We're starting early.
This song has been on the charts, the Billboard Hot 100, for 54 weeks. You know what that means, right?
Where was it at?
Well, it doesn't,
just anywhere in the top 100.
Anywhere in the top 100.
Wow. That probably never leaves.
Probably never leaves. Now, if you don't know what that means, there's 52 weeks in a year. This song has been on it for 54 weeks. So Mariah Carey is probably set her children's are taken care of just from the plays of this song. Number 3, we have "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" by, I think,
Brenda Lee.
Brenda
Lee.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. Classic song.
This is a song that has also been on the charts for quite a while. Last week it was at number 6, moved up to number 3.
I feel like that's the song, like every Christmas movie has that song in it. That's like the iconic song. I feel like
it's a classic song.
Yeah. What do we got?
That was at number 3. So number 4, we got Sam Smith and Kim Petras with "Unholy." Has fallen, was at number 3, has now moved down to number 4. Number 5, we have "Jingle Bell Rock" by Bobby Helms. Number 6, "A Holly Jolly Christmas" by Burl Ives.
Classic.
These are classic Christmas songs. And out of the top 10, 6 of them are Christmas songs. Both those songs have moved up. And at number 7, we have Drake and 21 Savage falling from the 2nd spot in the top 10 down to number 7 with their song "Rich Flex." So Christmas is just not doing them any favors. Number 8, we have "Bad Habits," Steve Lacy. Last week it was at number 4. This week it has moved down to number 8. Last 2 songs, "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" by Andy Williams is at number 9.
Another classic.
Been on the charts for 29 weeks. What is up with these Christmas people?
Man, let's just write a Christmas song.
I know.
It'll stay on the boards, man.
And it's funny because I'm thinking like 29 weeks ago, okay, almost 6 months ago probably. You were listening to Christmas music back then.
Year round.
Christmas in July, you know.
There's no shame in the game.
There's no shame. And at number 10, "Last Christmas" by, I didn't know this song was by this band, Wham! Exclamation point.
Wham!
Their band name has an exclamation point in it. Last week they were at 23 and now they're at number 10. So that is your Billboard top 10 out of the Hot 100s. Billboard's obviously the classic, the standard for what is popping off in the industry right now. But we're going to hop over to some breaking news as far as what you may or may not have heard going on in the industry this week. Brendan, what you got for us?
Yeah, I'll kick it off here. So SZA, I love me some good SZA. SZA came out with a new album called SOS, came out December 9th. It was her first album since 2017. 2017. She debuted her first album in 2017 called Control. Mm-hmm. Hasn't put out a single album since then. She's been putting out singles, but not an album in the last 5 years. That's insane.
I'm going to be interested to see how this album performs. I'm going to go ahead and say it may take a little bit of time, like it does with some songs, to actually get into what you may classify as the standard of, oh, it broke the top 10. But 5 years, you're thinking, oh, this must be like some seriously good stuff.
Well, she has some serious songs. She has 23 songs. 23 songs. And I know you're not a huge fan of long albums, but
know how we feel about this.
23 songs. It's over an hour. It's about an hour, 8 minutes. 23 songs for you. It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what Control had. I loved Control. Control was great. It broke her as an artist. She actually went on to go do some really incredible songs with other artists.
For sure. And I think 2020, I think it was, where Good Days came out. And Good Days, I think she blew up from that.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that an R&B song still style, or is it a little different? I know she's kind of pushed
it's like
boundaries.
her own style. Like she's kind of freestyles and flows with it, but it is a little R&B-ish.
People love her. If you love R&B, you love her. I personally think there's this other girl, her, who we saw open up for Coldplay.
Yeah,
I
her's really good.
Would listen to her now.
They're a little similar in a way. I think SZA has a very unique style, like the way that she structures her songs.
But and that's the thing about R&B, not to get off tangent, but like R&B doesn't really, unless it's made to be a pop hit, then it's not really R&B anymore. But R&B is it's really storytelling in that soul R&B kind of feel. So like when you listen to these songs, it's some heavy stuff. Like lyrically, she put some work into it. She had 5 years to do so I wouldn't expect anything less. But but it's not your Ryan Tedder like catchy hook, or really.
I don't know how to explain it. Like, just go listen to SZA. I'm sure you already have, but like, go listen to Good Days and like try to identify a structure in that song. There isn't one.
Yeah,
it's just like free flowing and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's a feel thing.
Yeah,
I will say Control was better. I took a gander at this new album, and I know Benny Blanco produced a couple tracks, who we adore as a producer and songwriter.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I'm not jiving with it, man. I don't like it. I think she could have done better.
It is a different style, but Benny's really cool. I know. I saw a thing. I think Benny posted it where he was like, "My manager called me and said, 'Hey, SZA wants to work with you,'" and he's like,
really?
What? Are you sure? Me?
Like the SZA?
Like, SZA? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But
it's cool to see the respect.
SZA SOS. Go check it out. What do you got?
Yeah, go check it out. SZA, give her some respect and let us know your thoughts on that. Obviously, to each their own. Okay, we have to jump back a little bit here. On November 30th, a legend in the industry did pass away from a band called Fleetwood Mac. Christine McVie. We just wanted to bring this. We've done it before for people who have passed away, and we think we should always bring it to light for what they've done in the music industry. Christine McVie joined the band in 1970. It's actually interesting, the Fleetwood Mac history. If you're not talking about the drugs, because they were a rock and roll band, if you're not talking about the drugs and the romantic hookups of like Christine McVie having an affair on the bass player with the lighting director in the band, and then Lindsey Buckingham, the guitar player, sleeping with Stevie Nicks, who is the other singer, because there were two singers in this band.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. She unfortunately passed away from just what they said was an illness on November 30th at 79 years old. And just to kind of give you some perspective of what she did in the lineup of Fleetwood Mac, they ended up with 25 top 100 hits, 9 top 10s, number one smash hit with the song Dreams in 1977.
Oh, really? I thought it would have been like Landslide as a number one.
I'm sure Landslide. See, I should fact check that because I thought that too. I was like, wow, Landslide wasn't up there, but Dreams was the number one. And that was all after she joined the band. So rest in peace to a legend, and thoughts and prayers to the family. Yep. Moving on, we have other news this week.
Bad Bunny.
Puerto
Rican star Bad Bunny has retired after, I don't even know after, but he's 28 years old. He's retired. Temporarily. Okay. Yeah, so he basically said he's taking 2023 off. He's retiring in 2023, which, okay, good for you. He quoted, "I'm taking a break. For me, 2023 is for my physical, emotional health and to breathe and enjoy my successes." I think that's cool. I say do it.
What are your thoughts on Bad Bunny?
You know, I think our quest to learn Spanish has like uncovered a lot of cool Latin artists.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny being one of them, just recently especially. And yeah, he has some good songs.
I think he is breaking more and more into the American music industry specifically, but he's the Drake of Latin America.
Yeah. Possibly bigger.
Yeah. Possibly bigger.
If that's possible.
I remember one time I came across just like the YouTube videos that he's been putting out, and every view seems to be like, I again, don't quote me on this, but it seemed like every video was like 1 billion views. Just the consistency that this guy has.
He's massive.
He's huge, and he's really good. Now, granted, I'm gonna demonstrate the production of a Bad Bunny song as it is any Latin America song. It's the there might be a name for the.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of that.
I would say 99% of his songs have that beat.
Yeah. Well, that's like every song though. Every like Latin song
It is.
has that.
So they're just relying on melody and lyrics to be the difference in those songs. They just have that same beat. You think people will get bored of it, but they come up with these interesting melodies, these new rhythmic, a new rhythmic flow of their words that kind of make the song entirely different.
But people are loving it, man. People are listen to some of his accomplishments here, right? He's had 4 albums in the past 2 years. 4 albums.
He's putting in work.
That's insane.
That is.
Most bands put out maybe 1 album every 2 years.
Our favorite one, Coldplay.
Coldplay, they
takes forever.
They take their time. They craft each song. 1 album maybe every 2 years, maybe 3 years, something like that. 4 albums in the past 2 years. That's bananas. Yeah, he just finished up his World's Hottest Tour. When was this?
It was last night, Saturday.
Last night, yeah. December 10th in Mexico. Finished it out in Mexico. So he's officially done. He's retired.
Wow.
For now. But he's had 10 Latin Grammy nominations. Out of those 10 nominations, he's won 5. That's impressive. Apple Music's first Latin Artist of the Year. That's insane. And according to Time Magazine, he's had the best album of the year. I mean, right there, you're killing it.
Yeah, I'll give it to this guy. I love him too. I just saw him on a Netflix movie called Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. He was like a.
Oh, he was on the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a cool dude. He looks cool. So I'm happy for him and his success. I hope he celebrates hard. I hope he enjoys and gets well with his physical and mental health.
Yeah.
But just the other day, you showed me a Bad Bunny song that I hadn't heard. I forget the name of it, but
I might pronounce this wrong. Ojitos Lindos.
Ojitos Lindos.
I think it means like pretty eyes, pretty little eyes, something like that. I don't know.
Really good song, really good artist. I mean, the dude is he's Bad Bunny, dude.
Yeah.
I want to do a little more deep dive into him because he's a really interesting.
He's been
character.
on Spotify's top 100. Get this, more than Harry Styles, Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, and Kendrick Lamar combined.
Are you serious?
Combined.
That's what we're saying. Okay, so we said he was the Drake of Latin America. He is apparently something. He's a phenomenon beyond understanding.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, this dude's insane.
Yeah. Moving on, though. What do you got next?
Yes. Okay. Next in the news, we have Las Vegas residencies. I think we've talked about this before. We may have mentioned it, and you may have heard of it. Some of your favorite artists doing what's called a residency.
Yep.
Just a quick crash course on what that means. A residency is basically where well-known acts are under a contract to perform regularly scheduled shows at a specific venue. Now, typically, they're doing this strictly in LA. Las Vegas. I think that's just because it is a huge tourist destination. And you have Caesar's Palace out there. You have some really...
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of good venues out there that artists can do this. So... why is this a thing? Why do we see artists doing this? I think the biggest thing is that they're cutting their transportation costs way down. If they're able to play a set number of shows in the same venue, they don't have to tear the stage up or build it up and then tear it down every night and transport that.
That's a huge cost.
You
I
cut
think,
a crew.
honestly, that's kind of interesting because we've been seeing that lately with Coldplay's tour.
Yeah.
Where it's not a residency, where they're not there for, weeks on ends, but they're there for 4 nights, 5 nights. I think they did, was it Buenos Aires? They did like 8 shows.
Yeah, it was 8 shows in Buenos Aires.
That's insane.
Yeah, every show, 60,000 person capacity,
Packed.
sold out.
Packed. That's impressive.
That's why Coldplay's the best. But
yeah, and again, like you said, they're not having to transport the gear or anything like that. Yeah. Travel arrangements. It's all stationary. Everyone comes to you.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that bill is. And then we know artists do get screwed, so that probably comes out of their pocket when it comes down to that contract that they sign with whatever label. Like, obviously the label handles all that, but that label's going to want that money back because if they gave you an advance. So it may be a con to tour or have transportation costs and then crew costs. I'm sure the bill is astronomical. But also, as an artist who's on tour for almost a year, depending on how long you're doing it, it's stressful. It's a lot. It's just beats you down, and you got to do this and that, and you're constantly running it on the go. When you're on a residency, you're stationary.
Yep.
So there is appeal for artists. But the con is some people say that it may be a decline in their relevance in other markets.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, are you going to see Coldplay do a residency in Las Vegas? Why? Why will you not see that? Because they're Coldplay, and they're not going to decline in relevance in other markets whether they tour, or they're so well known and doing so well they can pay for those transportation costs because they know they have the market for people to come to their shows and do 8 shows in Buenos Aires or tour around America or tour around Europe.
but you look at like U2. U2's doing a residency in Las Vegas.
They are, but they're also...
You're saying that they're falling off the bandwagon?
Well, U2 has been in the game for 40 years.
Yeah.
So they're older. Might be harder for them to tour a little bit.
Yes.
And maybe they... I don't think they fell off in relevance, but they may have. You know what I mean? They may be on that end where you have this whole new generation that is not really listening to U2 anymore.
I thought it was interesting. I was doing a little bit of research into residencies. And they said it can be anywhere from like 1 week to multiple years that you can be there. Like imagine if U2 was in Las Vegas until 2026. Just playing. that's the only place that they're playing.
Then they fell off in relevance.
Yeah, then they fell off.
So, okay, yeah, real quick to kind of go on the back of that. Las Vegas residencies, there are some big names doing it. Adele is doing it this month from December 2nd to the 31st. She's playing at Caesar's Palace.
Oh, that's cool.
Not every day, but like that's the time frame.
I would love to see Adele. Adele never plays live.
Yeah, but if you do see a live video on YouTube,
it's crazy.
She's so good.
So good. Yeah.
I don't listen to Adele, but goddamn, is she good on live?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, she's better live than she is on the studio album.
I think so. Yeah. So I watched a video of her playing live in London at Royal Albert Hall. Mm-hmm. Amazing. So good. Like it's literally just her and like a piano.
Yeah.
For 90% of the songs. It's kind of like an Ed Sheeran thing where it's like him and an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
But he just kills it. And she was nailing it. And everyone is like so involved. Everyone like it's so cool.
This might be the nicest thing we said about an artist on this show so far.
Yes.
So, hey, Adele.
How do you hate on Adele? Adele's awesome.
Yeah, you can't. She's just so freaking talented with that voice. And I feel like she's like, I'm not going to say underrated, but, you know, she's not like in the spotlight like Beyonce or like Drake.
Yeah.
She's humble.
She's very humble.
Yeah, She definitely probably enjoys her private life. Yeah. So, God bless her. Other big things happening as far as residencies go in Las Vegas to wrap this topic up. Maroon 5's doing one. Luke Bryan, Garth Brooks. There's actually a lot of country artists that do them.
In Vegas?
Yeah, in Las Vegas. This is looking ahead to 2023. So you're going to see artists like Maroon 5, Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, and another one is U2, but they are TBA, to be announced because they're pending a concert venue that hasn't even been finished yet. And then also...
So are they all playing at the MSG Sphere then?
Not all of these. Well, Las Vegas, there's so many places to play.
True.
So there's Caesar's Palace. There's that Sphere thing from.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, something we talked about already, but it's gonna be so sweet. U2 is pending that venue to be built before they play, and then also Larry Mullen Jr. their drummer is pending a surgery, so they actually might not play with him next year, if at all.
If at all, yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah. They said they're probably not likely to tour. Like they might do the residency if he can play, if he can drum, but otherwise they're probably not going to tour in 2023.
Would Forest Lake ever do a residency? You think? What's
Heck
your thoughts? You think so?
I think so.
If the money was right, like if you're making money and we're not spending.
Yeah, I think so because it's really. I think it's kind of cool. Like if you're an artist, you are stationary in an area for a while. You're kind of exploring the area, exploring the culture. Just the scene, and then you're also writing. Like you're not just sitting there doing nothing on vacation. You're working.
The culture of Las Vegas. Do we want to be there for longer than
the culture of anything? Like if you go do a residency in like Japan or Switzerland for a week or two. Okay, so you're saying
like the Coldplay style. Like we're in a
Buenos Aires. Yeah, exactly.
Not Vegas.
Maybe not Vegas.
Vegas doesn't even have its own water. They have to ship that water from that lake somewhere. Yeah. Lake Tahoe or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
no bueno.
Maybe not Las Vegas.
Yes. Not Las Vegas.
Moving on. R. Kelly is the newest news.
R. Kelly?
So this is an interesting thing. And obviously it's kind of awkward to bring up because if you don't know, R. Kelly has been incarcerated for conviction of sex trafficking in New York and then child pornography in Chicago. Not something we particularly want to talk about on this show, but
That is news.
here's what is new with R. Kelly. This past Friday, there was an album leaked onto all major digital streaming platforms under R. Kelly. His actual album. This was a bootleg copy of one of the albums that he made right before he got convicted and in prison. I think he's in prison for a number of decades just for sex trafficking in New York. And then in February of 2023, they're gonna put him on trial for the child pornography charges. So, okay, this is really interesting. The album was called I Admit It.
Yes.
All right. This is already off on the wrong foot.
It's like an OJ thing.
Yeah, it's very bad. The few people or whoever was able to find this was taken down relatively quickly.
Yes.
So it's no longer on there, but I'm sure it's on the internet because once it's on the platform, somebody probably did something. There were 3 songs at the end that actually he sang about how he feels he did nothing wrong and the allegations are ridiculous and he shouldn't be going to jail. All right. Well, we don't care what you think, R. Kelly. You're a terrible person. But it's just really interesting to see, like, he wrote this album. It's a 56-minute long album about some of the stuff he's done, and he's done some terrible stuff, and he's basically saying not that he didn't do it, but he just is it's preposterous.
I would feel weird listening to that. Like, even if they were good songs, just knowing like what they're about, I would feel a little strange.
I was going to ask you about that. Okay, I'll get into how this may have got released in a second here, but then I wanted to ask you real quick. R. Kelly, arrested for sex trafficking, about to be sentenced more for child pornography.
Yeah.
Do those songs come down? Does all his stuff come down off of Apple Music, Spotify? Because his previous stuff
all of his stuff.
You think so?
No, that's what you're asking?
I'm asking, do you think, like, people that do these things, these heinous crimes, these terrible things, or are convicted of things, should their previous work be taken down? It's almost like, I don't want to say it, but is it Hitler did what he did? Do you eradicate him from history books? Not necessarily, because history is supposed to be objective. It's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I don't think he would take down the artist's discography. No.
Leave it up.
Leave it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless he did something like really terrible, like was it like a.
I mean, even if he was like
terrorist.
Jeffrey Dahmer or someone, I think he would still leave it up.
So the people that own his rights, Sony Music, they own those songs.
Well, exactly. They're not going to take it down, I feel like, because they're still making money.
They're still making money off of it.
And that's the most record label thing I've ever heard, where like you maybe take down his latest album or something, or the dude's in jail, but hey, we'll still collect all your money.
Right.
Don't worry, we'll take your royalties.
Right. So maybe it's more like up to the point of what he did wrong, right? So this bootleg album, he will not be making money from it. The lawyer came out on behalf of R. Kelly and said, hey, we didn't know about this. This was an unauthorized release. They did some digging because he was dropped by Sony, who was his label, obviously, when the convictions came out. Actually, just when the stories broke, before he was even convicted, when the story of what he did came out, they dropped him. Credits were actually cited as Sony Music. They came back and said it wasn't us. A little more digging revealed that it was actually uploaded from In Grooves, which is a distributor under Universal Music Group. Now, I think there was a little tag. It was like In Grooves Legacy Entertainment or Company. That same tag goes under Sony, so there was confusion of.
They're all kind of connected.
They're all kind of connected, but basically, yeah, it was a bootlegged copy. Somebody released it, and
wow,
R. Kelly broke the news for being on digital streaming platforms. But as far as what I think, I almost was thinking, man, I think his stuff should be taken down, but that's just because I think sex trafficking and child pornography is absolutely disgusting, and I don't want to. I guess what it comes down to is a personal thing. Your moral values. Do you want to support that? Maybe you can now know.
I also think, like, just like anything else on the internet, it's out there, but are you going to listen to it? Like,
right?
Probably not.
Probably not. But I mean, Ignition is, especially the Ignition remix by R. Kelly. I mean, it's a good song, objectively. We might have to go.
But it's potentially a good song to potentially be listening. I see.
We got to be careful
lawyer
what
talk.
we're saying. Yeah. I don't actually listen to it. And I was just saying that because I have heard it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is our weekly wrap up for this week in the music industry. And we will see all of you next week for what we're about to endure with the music industry coming up.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Everybody stay safe. Have a great week in the music. And I don't know what I'm saying here. Yeah. Thanks for coming on and listening to more music.
See ya.
Peace.